The physical reality state of being. So I'm going through my checklist. It's 11:11. It's supposed to be energy portals when the date numbers match up. 8:8 Lionsgate, 11:11. Of course, the ones that's supposed to be indicative of more divine source energies. Source code pops into my mind. The Schumann resonance, the electrical pulse of the earth, has been on the rise, higher than it's ever been recorded before. We have solar flares, monumental levels, and Earth is supposed to be passing through a photon belt, which means an increase of light. Physically, for myself, it started out in my lower half over the last few months, where it felt like my top half was weightless. My bottom half was like somebody had just hung a ton of weight to it. And especially my tailbone, I had broken that when I was a teenager. So a lot of pain in that area from the added weight. Although I haven't gained a whole lot of weight. I'm at my average weight. So it's just like an accumulation of energies there. That stopped happening. And it used to feel like, you know, when everybody's talking in a circle and then somebody says something, the room gets really quiet, and then everybody just sinks, like a darkness, a heaviness falls on them. It's kind of like that, but it was only in my lower half. And today, the only place I feel it is like on my crown. And that's dissipating now. I've been listening to like the binaural beats, so many hertz, whatever, that are supposed to heal the body and whatnot. I woke up, like, I had it playing all night long while I slept, and I woke up this morning and my body felt young. It felt young again. So I'm enjoying listening to that. Fun developments when I close my eyes to rest before I go to sleep. So figure becoming acquainted with dissociative identity disorder, how we separate parts of ourselves, tendencies to respond and react, get shoved aside and ignored, and we cut ourselves off from it so we don't have to face whatever trauma we went through because we didn't know how to deal with it when we were young or whatever. So finding the keys to integrating these aspects, everything that they needed, the answers that they needed, the time and attention that they needed, the words that were needed. Along with that, it also helps to integrate all the other places in time and space where they would call it incarnated, wherever I've incarnated, wherever my consciousness was connected. So when I fall asleep, I close my physical eyes and my third eye opens, and I just see at first swirling of energies, and I always focus on the feelings that I love, being held after making love. When my dog, she does this silly thing, like she'll get in this mode, and she just like breaks her head and then looks out of one eye at me, like, what are we going to do next? Just really playful, and I get excited about that. So I remind myself, none of those people, nobody comes to mind when I imagine being held and just safe and warm. I just tune into the feeling. I don't attach it to anybody in particular. So I'm not infringing on anybody's experience by projecting all these feelings at them. Respecting everybody else's state of being because they're choosing that, and not attaching anything to anybody in particular. Just allowing that whatever experience I've ever had or can have associated with these feelings will be drawn to me because that's what I'm emanating. So the energy starts swirling, and then I just start traveling. And it's like, when you see in the sci-fi movies, going through, portals or whatever. And I'll see shadows, as I pass, of groups of people or, interactions with people. And the most recent one that was just the most clear that I've seen in a long time, somebody was walking up into like a crowd. They were all gathering. They were going to. It was happy, go lucky, and they're just chatting. And when my energy connected this one person, the back of their neck just blew out with purple energy. So that would be the pineal gland, and the purple energy is for transformation. So I just blew up somebody's ability to transform. But that happened, and I heard a pop on the side of my head. So it just changed something. So if somebody was energetically connected to me in that way, that relationship has changed. I'm not opening up to the details because that's their experience and they can have it. But to me, it's like a pimple burst in my brain, an infection where somebody else was invading, and they can't do that anymore. A change is, so when they're talking about dissociative identity disorder and such things, it's the feeling. I never knew this before. I stumbled across this information because I called it characterized thought patterns. When I told my friend, I'm really worried about myself because I'm getting these characterized thought patterns that are totally unfamiliar to me. And I'm playful. I like to throw an accent in when I say something. So I will characterize a thought pattern. Well, these were just so foreign, and it was just like coming back this way. It was coming up. The energy moves from my body and then up into my mind. And so I know how to push it back down so that it doesn't attach itself. I don't want to say gain control because I don't feel like I'm controlled by anybody or anything. But it's just so that I don't take on that characteristic because it's foreign to me. I don't want it. It doesn't feel comfortable. So I know how to shove it back down through my energy system. It's kind of like an infinity sign, and maybe the way the energy moves through my body. I can pick up on a lot of energy movement in my body, where it's going, what it's doing, how it feels, how I'm responding to it. So I was used to, it's just a feeling and a sensing. It's not an audible voice that you hear. When I was young, before I turned off all my six-dimensional extrasensory perceptions, I would actually hear conversations. My brother called me elephant ears because I overheard him from the other side of the house plotting with my cousin to do something to me. And I'm going to tell on you. And he said, oh, elephant ears, elephant ears. And anytime something like that would happen, he'd be like, oh, humans don't do that. Okay, I got to shut off that ability, that avenue, that neural pathway. Another instance, I was on the phone with a friend. I had never been to her house before. And I'm like, oh, hey, is this what it's like in your kitchen? And I'm seeing, like, through her eyes what her home would look like. And she was all freaked out. She's like, yeah. And then immediately popped in my head, okay, humans don't do that. I can't do that. So I closed off those skills. I think it was yesterday, maybe, was the first time in a long time. No, it was actually the day before. It was like, from here, I heard an audible voice, somebody asking about me. Just checking in, like, not nosy or anything, just, a friend. Oh, is Stacy, checking in, do I need somebody asking somebody else about me, which my friend who's closest to me now, she lets me know that a lot of people ask about me. Do I need anything? That's so fucking awesome. There are people I'm not even aware of, who I don't see every day, in my immediate community, who want to give to me. And who want to know how I'm doing. In a healthy way. I don't even remember ever having that before. So, I got my checklist all ready for whatever event may or may not come in reference to this increase in electricity, this increase in light. And for me, I felt like the whole ground's been vibrating for over a month now. I just felt like a little wave. At first I checked, like, are we having earthquakes here or something? But it's just more continuous, and I'm getting used to it. I thought it was the earth with the increased electricity. And someone else suggested that it would just be me increasing my vibration. And I think that makes sense, because the consciousness general of people is lower than mine. And so they would be more in alignment with the Earth's surface. So I'm actually vibrating higher than my environment, and that's why I feel the constant shaking. So that is very, very interesting. But checklists for any impending events. This increase of light, they say, generally provides a dividing of realities. So if we've expanded our consciousness, we're opening ourselves up to new potentials. So we're allowing in thought patterns that say, hey, maybe I could. And we're allowing ourselves an expanded possible future. Then that's what they call splitting timelines. So it's not like, oh, poof, now they're no longer in my time, I can't reach them, I'd have to time travel to reach. No, it's just, for some people things will get easier, and for some people it will stay the same or get worse. I'm just going to be bold and say, I think things are going to get better for me from here on out, because I've expanded my responses to my environment, and I'm allowing in greater love and better experiences with people. Dude, I got a new pair of shoes from a store that sells nothing but footwear. No cheap shoes, no hand-me-downs, like good pair of hikers that gonna last me right through the winter, insulated, waterproof, just like I like. I mean, my clothes are like the jeans I would choose for myself. Flannel, I love flannel. It's soft, it's comfortable. I like the colors and the mixing of colors. So I'm getting things my way. And I haven't had that in such a very long time. And it doesn't feel empty like it used to when I got things my way. So, again, I keep checklists. Got all I needed to reconnect with aspects of myself, my inner mundane 3D, supposedly, as they would call it, the psychiatrist's coverage of the self, the human self. Getting all those bits and pieces connected, which is helping me get all of the ancestral and interdimensional connections healed. And I think I'm in good shape for whatever it is to come. Thanks for listening.